Welcome to the Soul Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me is the Kung Fu Master, Ben.
It's funny because I am not a Kung Fu master.
That's the joke.
Though I could consider myself one. I've had a fairly robust glass of wine. My podcast hopes were dashed, but now we're back.
But have you read the 25-cent Kung Fu manual?
I would... I'll just skip right to the end. I would pay to make that kid go away. That's a... You know what? I'll hit you with a take that you might not expect. I'd rather deal with a bit of slitting. Honestly.
Wow.
That trope is so uncomfortable because you know what? You know what's more cereal unfriendly than box cutters? Fucking snot. Cereal is already a pretty precarious food. Like you're a few minutes out on the counter and suddenly you're dealing with a massive texture violation. Like seeing the kid in Wind Waker, like with the big snot thing or that trope. I hate it. I don't even have to be eating cereal and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not eating anything, no cereal, no milk today, no yogurt today, no Bavarian cream donuts. It's all just fucking tarnished. So I saw that and it was so prominent. There was no need for it. There was no need for it at all. It was so fucking disgusting.
It was the money shot.
No, it wasn't. I didn't. Up until that point, I was like, I don't think I'll ever watch Marriage Story again. And I saw that scene, and I'm like, maybe I'll watch it once more just to replace this image with a different one. It's the all you have to do to get me to watch gratuitous violence is show me the snot-nosed kid first, and I'm like, yeah, let's watch someone get their neck slit open with a box cutter. It's fine. We've already bottomed out. It's bad. I hate my brain.
My plan is working then to break you.
It's gross. The rest of the movie, fucking amazing. We're talking about Kung Fu Hustle, by the way. What a great movie.
It's so good.
I've heard it mentioned so many times. I mean, mostly none of my friends are really into Kung Fu movies. I had one friend who's pretty into them, and unbeknownst to me, Kung Pao, what's the subtitle? Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
Maybe. I don't remember.
That Kung Fu spoof film with the lady.
Very different movie.
Lady has 3 tits and that uses a bunch of stock footage from other films or a film.
Yeah.
He was ranting and raving about it God knows how many years ago now. And I checked it out and it was fine, but it's it's such a bad movie to watch if you're not familiar with at least the source material, if not the genre. But it was fine. And I like The Matrix. I'm not against Kung Fu. I like Kung Fu Panda. But this was just I wasn't totally sure. The shooting, the style of cinematography and the shots that they were lining up were super interesting. The moment that sold me completely, pushed me over the edge. When the kid is trying to shampoo his hair, and then the landlady starts yelling at him and stuff, and he's standing in front of the camera and she just slaps him into a cartwheel. I lost my fucking mind. It was hilarious. It was so good. And then it just kept getting better.
This movie uses CG so fucking well.
Yeah, dude.
Oops.
Oh, man. It's the landlord.
An alarm. in case it hadn't woken up yet. That wasn't a call. Yeah, because it's like this CG holds up because it was never ever trying to look that realistic.
Yeah.
Like, it's just trying to look fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's specifically just to supplement the live action fighting and wire work to do fucking ridiculous like anime bullshit or whatever, like cartoons stuff.
Yeah.
It just works. It works so well.
God.
But it's still like all about fighting.
Yeah, dude.
Because so Stephen Chow, who like produced, wrote, directed, and is the star of this movie, his previous movie was Shaolin Soccer, which is another like using CG to be ridiculous movie, which is why there's that thing in the middle when his character shows up where he like gets the soccer ball from those kids and then stamps on it and says no more soccer. But using those tools for this movie that's all about escalating fights makes it so much more my jam.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Like, it's like, let's just do the coolest thing we can do, and then let's top it over and over and over again, the whole movie.
Yeah, dude. The only, like... And it's totally fine. I just thought I was, like, gearing up. I was hoping that we were going to get, like, the trope of, like, the villagers or farmers or whatever, like, defend their homes. Just because of that bit where it's like, I'll go one-on-one with anyone here. You, older, middle-aged, fat lady. What do you got? She, like, punches him and he just starts fucking bleeding. Like, what do you do? I'm a farmer. Like, yeah, dude, don't fuck with farm kids. What are you doing, bud? That whole bit was, like, great, though.
Yeah. It's like, he picks on the short guy. He's
like 7 feet tall.
Sitting down.
Almost as tall as Hank.
He picks on the kid. He comes out and is super jacked.
Shredded.
Oh. But even like that opening scene of the gangsters like at the harassing the cops because they arrested his girl for spitting.
Yeah.
And it comes out and the streets are deserted and the fucking Axe Gang rolls in. Oh man. That whole sequence of like the montage of the Axe Gang's rise to power, it's like you could probably cut that whole thing for the movie, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah, the little like dance number.
Yeah.
It was very very well done.
And then just like, there's so much shit in this I love. But like, when the Axe Kings rolled in and they poured gas, like the slow-mo pouring gasoline over that woman and her kid. And he's just like, and he throws the lighter. Like the way that slow modes and then cuts into just that dude grabbing it and putting it away.
Yeah.
He's like, yo. No.
Dude, it's so the ramp up of power in this film was so good. It was so satisfying to experience.
Yeah.
God.
Cuz it's like my favorite example of like the chosen one, because at the end Stephen Chow is the one. Yeah. But like it builds him with like, this dude sucks for so long, and it's like it's not really even about him. Like most of the fights do not involve him. It's just keeps escalating of this character beats this thing, and now they get beaten.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the ladder climb up to that final. That final fight is so good, of constantly escalating. It's like, yeah, you can just fucking wipe the floor with this. The Axe Gang is like the most powerful gang, and they get their asses kicked by these three masters. And the three masters all get fucking murdered by these blind musicians. And then the landlord and landlady reveal themselves as being the true. Oh, and then the beast. The beast, dude.
Fucking beast. So good.
Goes to that door and he just senses his aura, and it's just the door opens and there's just blood pouring out.
Dude,
and
that
you
was...
actually open the door and it's just a dude sitting on reading the paper.
Yeah,
the beast truly looks the part with his fucking flip flops.
That aura bit was so fucking cool.
Yeah. All the frogs outside his cell to like let you know the little hint of what was to come.
Yeah. God, it's just like, it's so fucking well done. Has a nice a tight little 98-minute runtime.
Yeah. Cuz it's like it does not fuck around.
Dude, it
like,
doesn't.
Even the tragic backstory, it's like so simple.
When they fucking piss on him after beating his shit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my god. I was like, what the fuck? What am I watching right now?
They kick the shit out of him and then they just pee on him.
All of them.
They're bullies.
Unload.
He had a bad time. It was. And from then on, he's like, I gotta be a bad guy because I don't want to get peed on again.
Yeah. I'm the one who pisses. Oh.
Oh, and that I love the way they like do the gesture of the, like, so in the opening scene when he's like, just the woman is left.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, no, you're free to go. I don't kill women. And then she starts walking away, and he like sticks out his arm, starts like waving his fingers for them to bring him something. He gets a shotgun and shoots her.
Yeah.
And then later, when he lets Steven Chow guns, he does that same thing, but they just bring him a cigarette. He's like, nah, that guy sucks. We can use him for sure.
Yeah.
Even though he's like really fucked us over. It's fine. He's an idiot.
What was like, what was the, I would guess, context? Like, when did you see this? Like, what was your first experience with it, the film?
I definitely watched it on DVD in college.
Okay.
So probably not that long after it came out, but just like not in theaters, like on video. I forget what got me to watch it, honestly. Like, I actually don't remember.
An intrinsic love of kung fu and CGI?
I really 100% cannot tell you.
That sounds like a yes.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was one my friends told me about or even. Huh. Nope, that memory's just gone. It's just always been with me since I absorbed it into myself.
So,
and it's just such a good like synthesis of stuff. I don't know. Like I can see it. I could compare it to stuff that came before it, but it's so uniquely just pure entertaining and silly.
Yeah. So I see it's released 2004.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I don't know a lot about the kung fu genre or genres, I suppose. Do they tend to sway more towards like I guess like like kaiju films where traditionally where it's like a little bit more takes itself seriously but also is a little ridiculous and it's whatever, or is it like a mix? I guess like I guess
I mean, I
I just
wouldn't.
know so little about the genre.
Yeah, I honestly
Or is there like
wouldn't
two
compare
sides?
it to the genre that much. It's like the movies that it's being influenced on in terms of like big movies at the time are like literally like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Hero, which are way more self-serious movies. They just have that same kind of wire work. Like The Matrix is also one, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Um but like this just is like, what if we took that and combined it with like Looney Tunes?
Dude, the fucking running though.
Yeah.
The Roadrunner shit.
And he has the knives stuck in his shoulders, and he's like looking at them like they're rearview mirrors.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Just
there's
prime.
there's really nothing to compare that stuff to except like literally Shaolin Soccer and Looney Tunes, kind of like that was just like a unique thing Stephen Chow did to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so wild in like what is really a movie about fighting to just go like pure cartoon with it.
Yeah.
I love when he's throwing those knives. Like, he just bounces off the wall, sticks in his shoulder, and he's like, "Oh man, I gotta lie down. I gotta sit down."
Yeah.
And his friend throws the knife directly into his other shoulder. It's like, God damn it, go closer.
Fucking
And he winds back and stabs him in the arm. Throws the handle.
Yeah, who threw a handle at me? Who's throwing handles?
Like, he's like, what's that? That can't be the same knife. And he pulls it out. And he's like, no, don't do that. And he puts it back in. Oh,
I gotta go take care of a thing. God.
I love after that whole sequence when he shows up fine. It's like, it's good you forgot. Memories can be terribly painful. And to forget is a blessing.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite lines.
pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
This
It's
was
just
a
like,
good experience.
yeah. It's just fun. Like really the only movie, and the only movie I've seen since that I compare it to really is like Yakuza Apocalypse.
You know,
In
I
terms of
was
just, like,
I was thinking about that as
being
well.
dumb. Yeah.
Except this didn't have a totally unnecessary scene.
I mean, for you, it's snot-nosed kid, I guess.
That's, yeah, we'll leave it.
What
we'll leave it there.
you're gonna admit that a brutal rape scene that's unnecessary is worse than just a kid who has snot in his upper lip?
I'll put that in my official statement. Yes, that the brutal scene was worse. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
one is worse in
No.
my head? Still the brutal rape scene. It's not. It's no
Yeah.
good.
No, like this is a movie I can recommend to everyone. No caveats, really.
Yeah. Well.
This is just top tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as I do like Yakuza Apocalypse, despite that glaring flaw.
Yeah. I mean, it's like obviously it's still bad, but like for recommending it, like I think
You
it's
just have to give that disclaimer because
Yeah,
like
that-
it's not the character of the movie,
yeah, like
but it's there.
yeah, just hit him with like I swear to God, it literally one thing, and it's done. and it's the rest of the movie is fine. But there's that one awful fucking scene.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Hustle is pure joy. Pure joy.
Really? Well,
that you have like this high level fight scene.
Excuse you.
Oh,
pure?
Excuse me? Not pure joy?
Pure joy? I don't fucking think so. He threw the lollipop at the wall and broke it.
It's
and
tragic.
At the same time, broke my heart, Hank. The fool.
But he's such a piece of shit. When he steals the ice cream and gets on the trolley and his like terrible laugh. Ha! Like ice cream falling out of his mouth.
What? You've never seen free ice cream before? Runs.
But she believes in him the whole time.
She does.
She knows.
Yeah.
She's a pretty good female love interest who has no speaking lines. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you'd think because of that he would have like.
Technically, she does have lines because she says things in sign language. But
oh yeah, that's right. When they're kids, right? Well, and,
no,
and when
she tries to explain to him, but he doesn't read sign language.
Yeah,
so he just ignores, or he like doesn't want to accept it anyway.
Yeah, I feel like he understands.
He gets it because like she hands him the lollipop at the end of that. And then
yeah. Be pretty well. He's pretty stupid.
Look, he opens the lollipop shop at this. He understands. He knows. Also, like eventually his chakras all his internal conflicts all cleared up because he gets his head smashed in.
Yeah, clearing your inner strife and chakra and chi is just
everyone
like
just
your
needs
sinuses.
to get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Or like truly kicked. Like just a little beating where you get peed on, that fucks you up. But if you get truly destroyed,
it's
you
the
come
best.
out pure.
Yeah, it's the best way to.
You come Gandalf the White.
Yeah. Like if you don't die, you have to be on the edge of death.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, when he gets punched and it caves in on him by the beast and it like pops out on the back of his shirt.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
That was good. The beast,
the fight between the masters and the beast, where like you have this high level battle between people who are not in shape.
Yeah.
And not like dressed the way you would think people who are having like the greatest fight of all time would be
just
dressed.
like average middle-aged people.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's incredible. I love the beast motivation also. That fucking like kind of one punch thing. Like, nah. I'm just looking for a good fight. If I lose, great. I found somebody worthy.
Yeah, like it's like is that true? Are you working for the X Gang? He's like, don't get it wrong. I only want to kill you or be killed by you.
Such a good bit.
He's so happy.
Yeah. Literally just a coincidence that you're their enemy. I'd be here regardless.
And I also love that like they get him out and it goes directly from them like not believing he's the beast and like to like him catching that fucking bullet.
Dude,
he like puts the gun to his own head,
puts
shoots
the
and
gun
catches
to his head. It was such a good like it's such a good scene, and it also was so effective because it's like fucking an inch away or whatever, and he catches the bullet.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then it goes right then to him fighting
Yeah, they're just at that
Paris and Helen of
table.
Troy.
Yeah, yeah.
That like he just busts down the wall and they're there. Like we don't have to like fuck around with him traveling anywhere or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because coincidentally, they came to take the Axe Gang down.
Yeah,
Great.
they brought a funeral bell and everything.
Fucking absolute power move.
Oh, the lion's roar.
Such a good take. Like on a middle-aged landlady who's just yelling at everybody, and that's her ability. Is
Yeah.
fucking screaming. So good.
Well, and I love that like they have these two characters that are like they're like comedic relief, but they're like doing cartoon shit, and then like yeah, they're of course they're actual kung fu masters.
Yeah.
Did you see her like running upstairs really fast or whatever?
It was so good.
And when like she like throws him out the window and he fucking
Yeah.
like falls through everything and then he's fine.
People are checking if he's dead. He's like, leave me alone. Don't touch me. Then they all just leave.
Yeah,
He's fine, guys.
it's fine. There is another unfortunate moment where a cat gets cut in half, I will say.
Yeah, at least it's
Off screen.
well, you see the shadow.
You see blood splatter.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the most uncomfortable thing, and it's probably, I mean, aside from Snot-Nose Kid, probably I don't even know really.
The landlord being gross.
I mean that, but also the whole thing with like the one dude being gay,
Oh yeah.
like pretty big. There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're making fun of him.
yeah.
But at least that like Rabbit Tooth girl stands up for him. At least.
Yeah, it's like they're making fun of him, but like it's not absolutely disgusting. It's just like a well, that didn't age well thing, I guess. Something.
Yeah. I mean it didn't feel great at the at the time.
Sure.
I would say. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like this humor is not the best. But he's also a badass, so
See, the humor is not the best, but also if you were like 10 years old in 2004, that humor would have been fucking peak.
it's true.
We
He pulls
progressed.
those rings down.
Like he was fucking badass as hell. It was great. It was awesome.
He has this move where he like throws his hands out and then they chink and he pulls them back in. Oh,
It's very good. Like how they tighten up. It's
Yeah.
very satisfying to watch.
just blocking axes.
Yeah, dude.
And they all get murdered by those musicians.
Yeah. That was like kind of it was like sad, but in the context of like power
Yeah.
upgrades, it was pretty satisfying.
Yeah. I love the fucking weather effects when like evil people roll in and there's just storm clouds above them.
Yeah.
Like
Dude.
at the mental asylum, like fucking Arkham or Batman, where they have like tanks hanging out outside
Yeah.
for the beast. There's just like a vortex swirling cloud above it. It's so
I
good.
think like a low maybe not low key, but like such a great example of like power and then like the after effects of it is like when you're after the landlady and landlord kill the musicians and then the guys are getting
Don't
ready to
kill them.
drive
Those guys
away.
just run away.
They just appear in the car.
Oh, it's so good when they're just in the car.
And
And she doesn't even say anything. She just starts like cracking her fists,
Yeah.
points at him.
And then when they're when they do start driving away, they're like shaking so goddamn bad trying to light the cigar.
Yeah, just he lights himself on fire.
Just shuddering.
That's-
Oh, it was so
He
good.
pours the alcohol on it to try and put it out. And he covers it with a jacket. Oh, just
God.
cannot compose themselves.
So good. Such a good bit. Like people just shaking.
They just show up in the car, and like a guard walks over. He's like, "What are you doing? Can't you see people are trying to sleep? Get out of here!" Oh, no respect.
Yeah, yeah. Great scene.
I also, I do find it very funny that the way they introduce those characters is fucking Stephen Chow and his friend are just staring at some random girl's ass, and those two walk in front of them, and they're like tied together by their fucking instrument, and they block the view.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Aw, come on."
Get out of the way. What are you doing?
Just wandering around.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, this is
Their swords.
yeah, and then like at the very end of the attack, it's like skeletons holding the swords.
Yeah. You have to. At the first, we're not trained to see them because they're fighting someone who's not powerful enough, who's not fast enough
Yeah.
to see what's actually happening. And then as it goes, we get clearer and clearer view. Good shit.
That was also very good. Like
Yeah.
that first person like knows there's something there but can't tell what it is, and then yeah.
And that like that final fight where first he fights the after he's like gotten his true power and he's like fights all the Axe Gang dudes. That's like that hits this spot of like I just love seeing like one person kick the shit out of a lot of people.
Yeah.
That like that Kill Bill Volume 1 is really good at too.
Never seen Kill Bill.
And he just starts popping them into the air, and like that shot of just like the people flying up
Yeah.
as he's like ping ponging everyone.
Well, then the like the fucking rain of bodies afterward.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he just like that shot, and then that shot of just him like actually just walking through people. That's like not CG at all.
Yeah. See,
Taking
that's why
everyone out
like
with
it
one
was
hand.
it was a very
The
good
mix
mix.
is so good. Yeah.
Because just when you're like,
the-
okay, like it's a CGI blob flying away at 2,000 miles an hour, but then it's like that
Yeah.
tactile smacking.
No, and the editing is so fucking sharp to go along with the music.
Oh, the music was stellar.
Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, it's not only that like the music is really good, it's like the editing is so fucking on point to every moment that it's happening with it. It feels like a musical in the way that like Looney Tunes does. Really. Sometimes. And then when he's like kicking the beast and he keeps kicking him in the head till he's like he does it like 3 times before the beast is like on his knees.
Yeah.
I love that second time where the beast almost goes down and then his like arm is like right at the ground and he like reclenches his fist.
Yeah. And it gets shoved farther.
Yeah. And when he gets like when the beast unleashes his frog form and punts him into the air, and then he pauses on that fucking bird. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he just hops higher.
Caw! The fucking caw, dude. Then the fucking hand move.
Yeah.
Falling from the sky.
That's so good though. Like the cloud shape and then turns into a
Yeah, the
fucking
Buddha in the cloud, and then
meteor or whatever.
it just destroy him. But I think the thing that makes it is that he then immediately does it again, but just fucking on the ground when the
Yeah.
beast like charges at him.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
no, you're super outclassed, dude. He's like, Beast is just like, what kind of technique was that? Like, I could teach you.
Such a good
Beast,
ending.
like, starts crying.
Just immediately gets on
Bows.
his knees. Yeah. Yeah. God.
And then he opens a lollipop shop.
Then he just fucking does it up.
It's
Such
so
a
good.
It's such a good thing. And I love that, like, that idea of just like, you know, there's a million and one chosen person stories where it's like they've always been different and special, and they got white hair and fucking purple eyes and shredded muscles and a special tattoo that they've had since they were born. Like, it's always fucking something. I just want to see a middle-aged landlady one drag a cigarette before slapping the shit out of people with her flip-flop. You know?
Oh man, when she kicks him out after he's like posing as Axe Gang at like the beginning of the movie, and
Yeah.
she literally just takes
Chase.
off her slipper and starts hitting him. With
Dude,
it.
it's so good. It's fucking classic. Man, in the first time, like when she, the first time she does the lion's roar, just single drags the cigarette, I was losing my mind. Just taking it all and like watching it burn up. It's so good.
Yeah.
God, just a perfect aesthetic.
Yep.
Yeah, easy recommend. Even if you're like me and you have like zero experience with kung fu movies, easy recommend.
Yeah, it's one of my absolute favorites, for sure.
That makes sense. Yeah, as per usual, it was too good, and you know, there's not enough to say about it besides how good it was. We can't tear it apart for 3.5 hours.
That's correct. It just like
Now,
the chosen one trope can just be so lame. Sometimes
yeah,
this avoids
It's-
literally all of it.
it's a very, I mean, like honestly, for me, like the chosen one, that trope is like my enjoy. Obviously, there are times when, like, you know, it can just be whatever, especially if it's like a kid's film or something.
There are times when it's done very well. Like I like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I like The Matrix.
Yeah. But I think for me, like in a situation like this, or like ideally, you know, part of the thing I want to see is that I want to see that scaling power. And so many times we just don't get enough of that, you know? Like,
Sure.
I mean, skipping the entire series.
Like frankly, a lot of movies aren't like confident enough to push it that far.
Yeah.
Like this is like the kind of spectacle that I want from like a CGI action movie in a way that like Marvel movies generally don't get to. They're like not willing to push far enough. They're too interested in like looking realistic and stuff, which is like, oh yeah, like the CGI in those movies looks better than the CGI in this, but it's not always because they're like stricter about like what they're willing to do. Like it has to look good. There's less they can do sometimes. And sometimes like just the stories they're telling you are not getting there.
I mean,
there are exceptions. Like Thor Ragnarok, fucking Ragnarok happens. That's a pretty big spectacle. But
I mean, that is, if they would just give us a Marvel movie where we can just watch the Hulk fucking beat down people, like, sure.
instead of just fighting Abomination in Toronto.
I don't even know what that means. I understood like one of those words.
It fights another Hulk.
Oh. Is like
He's like Abomination is like the Hulk,
this...
but he doesn't get stronger when he gets angry. He's just always like baseline stronger than base Hulk, but he doesn't get stronger when he gets madder.
That's the fucking power up I want to see. That's the scaling. Every time you hit him, he hits back harder.
Hell yeah. That's why the Hulk is the best.
I just want more of that fucking comic. Planet Hulk, though. It's too good. Hit him with a nuclear bomb, and he's all like, "You fucked up."
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of what happened to Bud in Kung Fu Hustle.
Look, it's a great trope of you. It's like all the Gamera movies. Gamera loses, and then Gamera comes back and wins.
Well, I feel like there's.
What, you think I left something out? You think there's some part of that doesn't add up? There's some element missing?
I mean, I like to believe when it comes to Gamera films that correlation is causation. Gamera gets his strength from illegal street racing against children. Every win powers him up. And if anything, he's doing it to use them as bait. It's like if you pull up to a stoplight and you rev your engine like you're going to race the guy next to you, but there's a cop down the road, except instead of a cop, it's aliens that want to eat children. That's what Gamera is doing. He's setting them up. So then he can fight.
Oh.
There's a headcanon for you. Yeah. No, very, very satisfying version of the chosen one trope.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. Maybe it also felt better because we didn't, I mean, again, compared to films that suck, like, we don't have to spend so much time with the chosen one. Like, we're not just following him, maybe. I don't know. And it was, like, it's a very tight movie, which, again, helps a lot. Like, they're not fucking around.
Yeah. Again, it's like being pretty broad with it's being broad with its characters. So it's like there's not complexity. There's not like super depth. We can convey everything we need to convey really quickly and simply with like pretty striking images.
Yeah. Striking images of boys pissing on another boy. Breathtaking.
That bully says like he's weak and she's a mute. Loser.
Yeah. Okay, so just when I said breathtaking, it's totally off base but related to the podcast. I have gone back and watched the fucking interview scene from 7 Days in Hell so many times just for this cigarette drag and him going like like it's the fucking, it is easily like one of the best deliveries in comedy that I've ever seen. It's so fucking perfect. Even Anya, like totally out of context, I showed her that scene and she's like, "What is this from?" I'm like, "Oh, we can watch it." It's just so goddamn perfect.
That movie is so good.
Oh,
You know what's good? Good comedy.
yeah, dude.
Quality comedy.
On that note, I have a question for you.
Sure. Hit me.
What's your do you have an unorthodox take on Airplane? You know what? I think we like watched it, but I need a refresher. Like, where do you put that? Where do you put Airplane as like a
Airplane's
general?
fucking great.
Okay.
But like part of it is I appreciate Airplane for being so specifically a parody of that 0 Hour movie.
Yeah.
Like the specifics of that parody, I think, are part of what makes it so good to me. Although,
Sure.
I mean, I love that movie before I knew that it was so directly like its source.
Yeah.
That those guys watched that movie and were like, "The fuck is this?"
Okay. See, Anya, like, I just not a she like, I think just too much wordplay. Like she only can do so much of that at once, I think. And maybe that's. I mean, maybe that depends even more on the person. Like, wordplay to begin with, but then wordplay in a second language for you, for anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that makes sense.
It's fine, but
Yeah, that's why broad comedy translates better across the world. It exports better. Rather than parodies of the particular way that Georgians yell or whatever.
wow. I mean, I think that stereotype is well known enough. The delivery was just uncomfortable the first time.
I mean,
Like, it feels
I
too
guess.
it feels too much like he's supposed to be angry and less like they're making fun of people sounding like they're angry.
Yeah,
So it just makes it uncomfortable.
it's just uncomfortable. We can all agree.
And maybe if without adding culture shit into it, maybe if we spoke Russian natively, it would sound better. Because that shit sounds aggressive on a good day, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I gotta quiet down. Sometimes on his mom will like just like parent yell, like she's not angry, but she's just like yelling for the kid to come. It sounds like she's super pissed. It sounds like somebody like stabbed somebody else, but it's just normal. But it's in Russian, and it just sounds like super aggressive.
Well, that's part of what I mean of like that not
Yeah.
translating super well.
Yeah.
Because that just to an American ear, that doesn't sound correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, certain languages have the opposite problem. They're screaming and carrying on, and you can't take them seriously because they're trying to fucking cuss you out with an accent that's like, hello. Like, it just doesn't work.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know, like some, I guess it's not, it's still kind of an accent. Some, like, Germanic language regions tend to, like, there's some people that just sound like a Muppet.
Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you which
I don't know,
regions
I've
exactly,
only watching anime lately. Even though the characters are technically speaking German, they're all speaking Japanese because it's anime.
in Monster, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes place in Germany.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, yeah, that's just anime though, right?
It's like, well, or I mean, it's or like Hunt for Red October. Those Sean Connery speaking Russian, but he's speaking Sean Connery. It's It's like how like there are plenty of times where like American movies do that too, when the characters are technically not speaking any, or technically speaking another language, but they just have them speak English. It's
Yeah,
an American
yeah.
movie.
Well, that was the thing in was it Chernobyl? Instead of having them speak Russian, they had them just speak English with an accent, but the accent was British.
Yeah, that sounds like an American. That's an American production thing.
Ugh. I mean, yeah. It's just
We love to make people British
I mean,
that
it
aren't
is
British.
close enough. It's across the ocean. It's all the same.
I don't. They're Russians. They speak with a British accent. You know.
Of course.
If anything, I feel like they should speak with a French accent. But that's just because I've read Tolstoy, and in that, the Russians are all obsessed with the French.
I mean, that's still kind of true.
Yeah.
Probably gonna change. There's recently been a new flight between London and Moscow and St. Petersburg that costs like $20 or some shit. So people are getting their London on.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that
hotness.
was more of like a upper class aristocracy thing anyway.
French.
The French obsession, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think we're like France or like
I know those people
I
got
don't even
murdered, so.
I don't want to try to pronounce the city name. Dubai?
Dubai?
Is it
That's a
Dubai?
place. Yeah.
That
Dubai.
one
The
fucks
U-
me up because there is a lake near my hometown called Dubai.
Oh, that's how like like part of, if you're a New Yorker, there's a street called Houston Street. And it's spelled the same way as Houston, but it's
Why?
pronounced Houston.
Who would fucking do that? Ugh.
So there's a part of me that really just wants to call it Houston, Texas,
Houston.
just because Houston. The New York way to say it.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I think that's a podcast.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Hustle is really fucking good.
Kung
If you like
Fu Hustle's fantastic.
fights, and you like Looney Tunes.
If you like high power, low physical standards, and rock solid comedy, check out Kung Fu Hustle. It's the perfect movie to inspire the everyman, the average Joes of the world. You don't have to look like a shredded Kung Fu master.
There's the barber who goes, "No, you're looking at the next Kung Fu master," and then Leslie hits him, and she's like, "I don't think so."
Yeah.
She just gets fucking knocked out.
Yeah, just one shots him.
She's like, "Nah,
Pretty
nah." I think
He
that's
didn't
the
have-
last you see of that character. Oh no, I think he shows up again, but I think that's the last time he says anything.
Yeah. Well, after that, I'd keep my fucking mouth shut too. God, that first slap though, to really set the mood. Just such an up close slap, and it's so forceful.
Uh-huh. Oh, I just love that early scene when he fucking throws the axe at that dude running and just cuts off his leg.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's like, "No! Remember that time where I invited you to dinner or whatever?"
Yeah, it took you to
And the
dinner.
dude just like does not flinch. Just fucking murders the shit out of him with that axe.
Yeah.
Cause he's serious. He's like, these are no code of honor.
Yeah.
Axe Gang's bad. Anyway, email us at saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us at Salt Circle Pod on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels. Our episodes are hosted at anchor.fm/saltcircle.
I'm
Ben
not
has
on
ascended
Twitter.
to a higher plane.
I did, though. I wanted to like look up some specific content creators, and I ended up downloading TikTok. Shit's pretty addicting. Though not as addicting as it could be, because TikTok decided that my language on TikTok is English, but also it's only going to show me Russian TikTok. So it's like 1/3 of it is just like clearly underage girls dancing, as you do. The other third is really old women dancing. And the last third is a kind of a blend of truckers just swearing profusely in Russian and people drifting like old ass Soviet Union cars on the snow. That's the content. It's all there. And Russian swearing
You lost me at the first part. That's cursed.
That's just TikTok.
I know. That's why I can't.
It's fucking awful. Just it's gross.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, Russian swearing is if anybody ever has a chance to look into it, it's incredible. Like because they use like endings and root words and shit like that, declensions and all that. There's like a word. I think the root word is like diets, something. And it would be kind of like a much more involved version of how we use fucking with anything. Like, instead of... It would be like if we had a specific word that you could form from the root word fuck. But it like one of the words means to steal. One of them means to lie. One of them means to have sex with. One of them means that somebody's stupid. Like... It's crazy, and there's just so many words. So you can literally say sentences, like full complex sentences, where every single word is a word that would not be allowed in a film.
So you're saying if they wanted to fix the meta, they'd have to ban a whole lot of words.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Fun fact to go out on.